Welcome to the Mwegas show, and poleni sana, I'm a few minutes late. However, I had said that today we are going to be talking about the masculine man. Sawa sawa? So this is the channel where we talk about men, manhood, and masculinity. Welcome to the Mwegas show. Sawa sawa? Very nice, very nice. Now, I want to keep this very short. Sawa sawa? I want to keep this very short. And I'm going to mix Swahili, Sheng, and English. So for those people who do not understand some of those languages, apologies, because I want to go through this uh, very fast. And yeah, so let's get into it. Now, when we are talking about the masculine man, the first thing we need to do is to understand, number one, what is masculine and what is a man. Because those are the two important words that we have put together, masculine man. Okay. Now, what is a man? A man is defined as an adult male of the human species. Sawa? An adult male of the human species. So that means you cannot look at an adult goat and call it a man. Or you look at an adult cow or the cattle family and you call it man. So it has to be an adult human. Male also has to be male. So that's the first thing. So if there is anyone who is not male but identifies as a man, this is not for you. This is not for you. This is for those people who are born male and they are adults. Now, I understand that adulthood is roughly some arbitrary age that the society has put for a person to be an adult. So in most countries around the world, that is 18. However, there are places where it is 15, 14, I don't know, 16, 17. However, as long as the society has defined you as an adult and you are a human male, then you are a man. Now, in the traditional African society, it was not about age but the rites of passage. So if you have gone through all the rites of passage that qualifies you to be a man, then you are an adult. You have been considered an adult. However, because you are living in a modern society right now, so in Kenya, it is 18. So a man is an adult human male. So a male who is over 18 years and over. So when you're below 18, you're considered a child. So that's a boy. If you're 17 years, 360 days, you're still a child until you hit the 18th year mark, then you are a man. There also a way to identify. When you become 18, when you become an adult, then you're given a national identity card. In Kenya, that is, you're given a national ID. All right, so what is masculine? Now, masculine is societal perception of what it entails to be a man. All right, these are societal attributes which are given to people who are men. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So these are attributes which are given or which are expected. Yeah, expected is the best one. These are attributes which are expected of a person who is an adult, who is a man, who is an adult male. Now we're going to look at now there has been a lot of controversies, or let me just call it controversies in quote, about what this means, what these expectations should be, or what they are and what they mean. All right. And then there is this claim that since it is societal expectation, then it changes geography to geography. Like if you move from one tribe to another, or from one continent to another, or from one country to another, or from one race to another, one tribe to another, right? That there is a claim that these things change. However, in front of me, I have a chart. I'm not going to share it because I'm not using my laptop. I wanted to use the phone because the camera is a bit better. All right. So now, in the traditional African masculine traits, these are the ones: brave, noble, emotionally intelligent, strong. So that is the African tradition. Brave, noble, emotionally intelligent, strong. Now let's go to the traditional Western expectations of masculinity. We have strength, we have courage, we have independence, we have leadership, and we have assertiveness. Strength, courage, intelligence, no, independent, apologies, independent, leadership, and assertiveness. That is Western. Now let's go to the Asian. Strong, authoritative, um, and emotional. Strong, authoritative, and emotional. Let's go to the Arabs. This is strength, resilience, power. No, all these are similar. Just they've only used different words, right? All these are similar across the board. These are people who are in different continents, different cultures, different religious beliefs, but we see that all these traits which are expected of a man are similar. So of course that rubbishes the claim that when you go from society to society, these things change. There are those, of course, there are those simple, um, nuanced kind of differences, but majorly overall, all of them are supposed to build up into the ones that I've read. So there is no, actually, there is no difference. It's only in the terminology. Now, you cannot tell me that all these traditional cultural societies sat down and came up with all this. These are cultures which probably have had never even come into contact with one another. And even if they did come into contact, something you need to know about the traditional societies that they were very, 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 very proud of their heritage. So they will not just change because a stranger has come in and told them to change. There had to be very, very good reason, a very, very good reason why that change had to take place or why that change has taken place. Now, tell me, I see feminists and these weak men complaining about these expectations. Tell me, what is wrong with the expectation for a man to be brave? What is wrong with a brave man? What is wrong with a noble man? What is wrong with a courageous man? What is wrong with a man who is emotionally intelligent? What is wrong with a man who is resilient? What is wrong with those traits? However, these people will try to make you feel and make you think. In fact, if there is something I hate today, it's the fact that grown ass men sit down and say, I feel like. As a man, you're supposed to be emotionally intelligent. Your feelings are not supposed to come into play. So there is a bit of rain and I have iron sheets. So in case it becomes too much, I will just end the stream. Apologies in advance. So I'm going to rush through this before the rain starts falling and then it's too noisy for you to understand what I'm saying. Huh? Sawa. Now let's continue. Now, these are the things, these are some of the traits which the modernists, the feminists, the weak men, these people who are pretending to be so enlightened want men to be. These are the masculine traits they are pushing. They not come out clearly and say this is what we are pushing. But if you analyze what they are talking about and what they are pushing, this is what they are pushing. Cowardice, selfishness, weakness, submissiveness, dependency, and brittleness. So they want a man to be brittle. That's why you hear people saying men should learn how to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is weakness. Vulnerability is weakness. And a man is not supposed to show his weakness. Now, let me give you a very good example. The problem with today's society is they don't believe men and women are different. So that's the problem. They do not believe it. They do not want to believe it. Even if you put proof in their face, they do not want to believe it. They live in their own heads. They live in their own minds. Now, because women can be vulnerable, and the vulnerability of women brings forth a feeling in the community that they need to be protected. So when women are vulnerable, when children are vulnerable, the community comes together to protect them. Comes together. There's this emotional thing. There is this pull. I think it is wired in our psyche or in our biology, wherever it has been wired, to come and protect them. So now, because that is how the society responds to their vulnerability and their weakness, they think that is the same way the society responds to the vulnerability and the weakness of men. No, that's not how society responds to the vulnerability and weakness of men. That is not how it has been. That's not how it is now. That's not how it will be. Let me give you a thought assignment. If a nation, if a nation state does not have a strong army or does not even have an army, if a nation state is just equal to does not have an army, what is stopping other states from coming in and taking over? We know there has been attempts. Even right now, we know certain. We saw the U.S. going to Iraq. We saw the U.S. going to Afghanistan. We saw Russia going to Ukraine, and these are states which had armies, which had a sort of protective barrier. Now, imagine if you are a state and you're weak and you show weakness to the world. What do you think happens? Stronger states come in, they mess with your systems, they take over everything, and there is nothing you can do. That is how men are. If a man shows weakness, if a man shows weakness, another man will come in and take what is his. If a man shows vulnerability, then another man will come in and take what is his. So when a man is weak and vulnerable, it brings it exposes him to danger, to attack. However, when women or children are vulnerable and weak, the society comes in and protects. Men actually come in and protect. Let's not mince words. When women or children are vulnerable and weak, men come in and protect. When men are weak and vulnerable, men come in and attack and take what belongs to that man. So now you pushing the man to be weak, brittle, dependent, selfish, all these things are weakening the man. Now there are people out here who are pushing this agenda because they think because they live in the world of delusions. They live in a world of delusions that suddenly society will change when men become vulnerable, when men become. They forget that the only reason why they are protected is because of strong men in their lives. It's because of the strong men in their surrounding. That's why they are protected. That's why they can feel that's why they can feel safe. So what is wrong with all these things the modern society expects? Because it puts men in a very dangerous position. And I don't understand, the people I don't understand are the weak men. However, I can postulate that these are the men who've been brought up by single women or single mothers. These are men who did not have a father figure. These are men who are so angry at their father that the only way to get, you know, to get at their fathers is to put all men in this vulnerable place where they can get hurt. So when a man is hurt, they feel good because that man represents their father. They forget that they are men too, and what is exposing me to hurt is what is exposing them to hurt. So instead of pursuing things which will build their resilience, so that if people come and hurt them, they are able to bounce back, they put themselves in this brittle position, in this brittle place where every poke they run around crying. These are the people who are calling themselves mom. These are the people who have decided, you know what, I no longer want to be a man, I want to be a woman. So if you see a person who is going through all this, number one, they hate men, they hate manhood, they hate who they are. And because they hate who they are, now they project that hatred to everybody else. Again, I apologize, there's a lot of noise going around. It's Sunday, people tuko kwa ploti, so whatever. So ukisikia masauti, kelele, wimbo nini, wezi ambia neighbor azime ngoma. Right? We survive, we do what we do. So now, I'm going to go through the do's and don'ts of a masculine man. I'm going to start with the don'ts. Men, number one, do not listen to women who try to tell you what it means to be a man or what a man is supposed to be. Do not listen to women. Because number one, they have never lived a day in their life as a man. And what they are telling you is a fantasy. Is a fantasy. They are fantasizing. So if you take advice of what to be, there are men who, out there who have taken advice from women who told them how to be men, and they fucked up their own lives. And some of these men did it because the woman, you know, promised them pussy, or they wanted some pussy. But if you find a woman who understands the world, they will tell you they don't want pussified men. They don't want effeminate men. They want strong men. They want masculine men. So if you listen to a woman who tells you, you know, I want an emotional man, a man who can be vulnerable, just dump that bitch. Just dump her. She's not the one. I apologize for the strong language, but that sometimes happens. So dump that woman. She's not good for you. She's not even good for herself. And you will know this type of women that you need to stay away from by some of the words they use. If a woman uses toxic masculinity, dump her. If she uses the word patriarchy, she's a feminist, dump her. If she uses reimagining masculinity, she's delusional, dump her. If she's using the word real men, how does a woman talk about real men? How does she know the realness of or fakeness of manhood? And she's never been a man. That's not the complete list, but when you heard those words, if you are a man who's been in the streets, now you have enough words that come into play. You have a whole dictionary of words you can look out for. Now, if you know any other words that men need to stay away from, that women use, put in the comments below, and then I'm going to go through them, and I'm very sure other men will come and see, and you know, you never know, you might save a man from these people who are out to get us. Now, another thing is, do not be weak or vulnerable. Do not accept to be weak or vulnerable. Do not accept that. The moment you accept that you can be weak, then that's when now shit hits the fan. That does not mean that as a man you just lock out your emotions and everything. You need to be in control of your emotions. You need to be emotionally intelligent. I don't even think that's a real word. However, you just need to be emotionally intelligent. You need to be stoic. Take control of your emotions. Don't let the emotions take control of you. You are the one who has the emotions, not the emotions which are having you. If it is the emotions which are having you, then they are controlling you. There is nothing as dangerous as an emotional man. Emotional man, and when I say emotions, these are the emotions I mean. The first one and the most destructive is love. Love is the worst emotion and the most destructive emotion when it controls a man. These are the people who are deleting their spouses and deleting their girlfriends. These are the people who are deleting, family members. These are the people who are deleting themselves. When I talk to my friends, I tell them, especially women folk who are my friend, I tell them the most dangerous thing a man can tell you is, I cannot live without you. That is the most dangerous thing a man can tell you. But women, when you tell a man, I cannot live without you, and when a man tells you, I cannot live without you, those are two different things. When a woman tells you, I cannot live without you, it means that she is so in love with you that she does not see a future without you. Okay? And if um, something happens and it does not work out, then her world will end. Now, there are crazy women out here that when they tell you those words, they mean exactly what they are saying. That if you walk out of my life, you are dead, I'm dead. If a man tells you I cannot live without you, it just means you dare break up with me, promotion to glory. I cannot let any you around any man, and these are the men who will be controlling, who will be looking at your texts, who will be following you at work, who will not even allow you to go to work. Why? Because they told you I cannot live without you. So they do not want to put you in a situation where you can meet a man who will make you want to have a life without him. Another dangerous emotion is envy. So this is where now you want something which belongs to another man. Instead of that thing galvanizing you to work harder, you want that thing, that specific thing that he has. So if he has a a vehicle, you don't want a vehicle like his. You want his vehicle. You understand what I'm saying? So now you will go out of your way to cause him harm so that you can get what is his. Anger. Anger is what makes men batter women because they are anger is in control. They cannot control their anger. They cannot control their emotions. Why? Because they are weak and they are vulnerable. Then there is jealousy. So this jealousy is specifically geared towards a spouse, a girlfriend. So you don't want her talking to a man. You don't want her talking to whatever. You don't want her talking to, you don't want her going to work. Why? Because you had a story that somebody's girlfriend went to work and she eloped with the boss. So now you are in that headspace. Another thing is, as a man, you are not supposed to be easily influenced. That does not mean that you're not supposed to be influenced. You're not supposed to be easily influenced, either by religion, by sports, by a spouse, by family, by bosses, by politicians, whoever. It is okay to hold a wrong position. It is okay to hold a wrong position. And it is okay to defend that wrong position until somebody makes a credible case why you should change your position. Right? I'd rather have somebody who has strong wrong convictions than somebody who has no convictions. I'd rather have somebody who has strong wrong convictions than somebody who has no conviction. Because it just means that you need to change this person to have the right convictions, and then they will hold as steadfast on them as they can. But if you have this person who has no conviction, that means that anything goes, anything flies.